What's going on, everyone? John here from The Real Talk, back again with another review, and that is for Avengers Infinity War, which is finally here. We've all been waiting for it, and it finally hit theaters. So yeah, guys, I actually saw the movie twice already. I saw it Thursday night and Friday morning to kind of process it all, kind of process everything that I saw and kind of get my full thoughts and bring you guys this review. But if you guys have not seen the film, don't worry, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so you guys are safe here. But if you guys do want to hear my thoughts on all things spoilers for Avengers Infinity War, I did do a spoiler talk with my good friend Rama from Rama's Screen, so you guys can check that out right there. And also, we finally reached the final destination for my Road to Infinity War series that I was doing. If you guys don't know what that is, I did do a Road to Infinity War where I reviewed all the MCU films that come before this film with 15 other YouTubers, so check that out again right here or in the description down below. So with all that out of the way, guys, we can finally get to my thoughts and review of Avengers Infinity War. Alright, guys, so to be perfectly honest, these are my negatives. I wanted to say that this film was and seemed like too much. Like, it just seemed like there's too much going on at one time, and we kind of, were bouncing off, from this place to that place, and this place and that place, and all these characters. But to be perfectly honest, I feel like to someone really new to the MCU, it would have seemed like a lot. But they had 18 movies to build upon and to kind of deliver this film. So with that said, I don't think it was too much. I was just kind of trying to see the film with reviewer eyes, but I don't know, for me it didn't bother me. I just wanted to put that out there. And also, I did want to talk about, if you guys have been following the series or seen some of my reviews, you guys may have heard me saying that the MCU affected this movie, where it had a lot of serious tones and stuff like that, but it was ruined with a joke. And this movie did have jokes, and I thought some of them, were kind of misplaced, but I sat back actually, and I was like, you know what? It all fits. It's all these characters, and to be honest, this is not a spoiler. The Guardians are funny, Drax is hilarious, and I was gonna say that this movie was affected by the MCU effect, but I was really glad that they didn't make a certain character, crack jokes and stuff like that. It would have taken a lot from his character. And I don't want to say who, in case that's a kind of a spoiler. It's kind of very sensitive to, not talk about this movie and the plot and stuff like that. But, I was really happy that they didn't make him do jokes. But anyways, with that being said, my only really negative is that there was two shots in particular that they kind of seemed choppy, and the CGI was kind of weird. But the second viewing, I saw it in IMAX, and I'm glad to say that those two shots were really, they're more, I guess, since the film was shot in IMAX, it didn't seem like CGI a lot. I don't know if that makes sense. But with that being said, I guess that's my only negative, those two shots. And then again, they were kind of perfected in IMAX, so I don't know if I have any negatives for this film. Alright, so starting off with my positives, I feel like I have to talk about and start off with the main villain, Thanos himself. I'm glad to say that they handled him greatly, beautifully. He's my favorite MCU villain, and he's up there with, one of my good buddies said that he rivals Heath Ledger's Joker. I don't really agree with that. I still think that Heath Ledger's Joker is still probably the best comic book villain that we've seen on screen, but Thanos does give him a run for his money, so he's right up there. I feel like I don't want to say too much because, like I said, it's very, this movie, like, if I say something, I don't know, it might be, taken out of context, but they did a great job in making us understand him, and I think that was a very important thing to do. And he does have some motives. They are different from Infinity Gauntlet, or that storyline, I mean. But again, like, the writers were able to make him not relatable, but to make us understand his motives. And also, Josh Brolin did an impeccable job portraying Thanos. His motion cap performance, you can see his performance in his eyes and everything like that. So, and all the emotions that he brings to the table and stuff like that. So, I have to say Thanos was a big part of this movie. He was probably the main star of it, and he, like the Russo brothers said, he does have a lot of screen time, and he's the character that does have the most screen time. So I'm very happy that was the case in this movie. So Thanos has to be my first positive. All right, so I have to talk about the rest of the characters, which were all great. I feel like they all had their moment to shine in this film, with the exception of a few characters that I thought were going to be more prominent in this film. But the Russo brothers did say like whoever kind of got left behind, because like I said, everybody does get their moment, but there's some other characters that I will talk about a little bit later that get more of a prominent role. They said that the other characters that didn't have a more prominent role are going to get their moment in the fourth one. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, well, well, no, I'm not going to say that because that's going to be considered a spoiler. But yeah, it was amazing to see that they were able to craft this movie so perfectly in the sense of like this 18 movies that prior to this film, we all felt that in this film. Like it was going to be really hard for them to kind of balance everything. But at the same time, it wasn't, because if if you haven't seen the films, then probably you're gonna say, well, who's this character? But for the hardcore fans and someone like me who has seen all the films, we already know these characters, so it makes sense for them to be here, be there, and kind of have all these interactions, and it's really great to see all of them, interact and stuff like that in their little different groups that they were put in. So with that being said, I thought all the actors did a phenomenal job with their portraying their characters. I feel like all of them are comfortable now in their sort of unique character, and that was great to see on screen. And I want to say that I'm happy to report that this film does feel like there's going to be consequences. There is some things that happen, and I'm glad they did, because that was one of my biggest fears, that this movie wasn't going to have that, and I think Thanos obviously brings that. And I was worried that it was gonna seem like, okay, well, if something happens, the Avengers are gonna fix it, and it seems this time that some in some instances they're not gonna be able to, and I really like that, because for a villain like Thanos, and to make him a great villain, there has to be consequences, and that's all I'll say that there is. All right, guys, I want to quickly talk about the action and the CGI. Like I was saying, there was those two shots that kind of seem iffy, but in IMAX, they seem normal. They're, I guess, perfected or something. But the CGI throughout, Thanos looks amazing. As the children of Thanos, the Black Order, they looked really good as well. Just everything about the movie, all the effects with everybody's different powers, and the action. Oh my god, just, I guess this movie kind of starts and never lets you go. It just grabs you and kind of just takes you for this ride, and all the action scenes, all the fighting were well done, in my opinion. But quickly, I want to go back to some certain characters. Like I said, I want to say them because I feel like they had a great arc in this movie. They had more of a prominent role. I'm not going to tell you, obviously, what they do, but Thor was fantastic in this film. He has a very important mission. And I don't know, I just feel like he had a prominent role in this film. Doctor Strange was also one of those characters. Vision, Scarlet Witch, obviously, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. All those characters were standout to me, and obviously, like I said, Thanos. All those characters were really really kind of present for me. Like I felt all these character storylines, and I feel like they were the ones that kind of were there to shine a little bit more. They had more to do, But with that being said, I think we're gonna go to my last positive, which was the ending. That was. Again, I don't know how to say this, but it was amazing. And the second time around, what happened I felt the effects of what happened a little bit more. When I first saw it, I was kind of just, again, trying to process what I saw. But I thought along with the end fight, it was fantastically done. So I want to say more about the ending and what exactly I really loved about it. But again, I don't want to be that guy to kind of spoil stuff. So unless you guys watch my spoiler talk. But I gotta say that in my positives, that the ending was probably one of my favorite parts of the film. There was one scene with in somewhere in the film with Gamora and Thanos that was really cool. It was really well done as well. But again, I don't want to give anything away. So I think that's all my positives. So we're gonna get to my overall score and thoughts. All right, guys. So with all that being said, I originally had Avengers: Infinity War 8 out of 10, but since the second time that I saw it, I have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was just that amazing. I think if I see it again, it's gonna be a 9 out of 10. I'm not sure. It's almost there for me. It's almost out of 9. This is one of my favorite films in the MCU. I think it's in my top 5 for sure. And I just had a great time. I can't wait to see it again. I want to see it probably tonight after the spoiler talk with Zach and everybody else. So with all that being said, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about the film. If you guys have not seen it, let me know what you hope to get out of this film. And yeah, like I said, I did do a Road to Infinity War, guys. So if you guys want to check out all those reviews, I have reviews for all 18 films of the MCU. So link to that's going to be in the description down below. And if you guys want to follow me outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. You guys can also find me on Stardust, just at The Real Talk. Until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Later, guys.